Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, Zsavagelife. I'm going to show you how to make these two beautiful benches out of Cinderblocks and 2x4s that I got from the local hardware store. I did go ahead and take this off of someone else's DIY project on YouTube, so props to them and thank you so much. They were able to make this project roughly around the price of about $17. For me, it probably cost about $60, and I'll explain why throughout my video. But they're gorgeous, I love them, and I cannot wait to show you guys how I made these benches for my backyard. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. Alright y'all, so this is what my backyard looked like before I decided to give it a tweak. And as you can see, it's kind of boring, not a whole lot going on with it. But I really want to keep these two blue chairs. So I thought, well, with the fire pit, we can't have it super close to the house, so we need to kind of push it out a little bit. So I decided to put my benches towards the end of the concrete deck. And I just don't want them that close to the house. So first things first, obviously you want to bring over your cinder blocks and sort of figure out a good place for where you want them to go. I made one 6 feet long and I made the other one almost 4 feet, not quite 4 feet, maybe a little bit shorter. And so I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place everything. And what I didn't actually end up showing you guys, because I thought it would be really, really boring, is me painting the cinder blocks. So the way that I was able to save money is I had paint from a different project that I had completed a while back ago, and it's actually concrete paint, which is perfect because, you know, cinder blocks made out of concrete. So I went ahead and used that same paint to paint the cinder blocks, and it came out wonderfully. Alright, so now that I have everything in place where I'd like it, I'm going to go ahead and start gluing everything together. And what I'm using is an adhesive, concrete adhesive. You can get it at your local hardware store for about $8 or so. And I'm using the tool to squeeze out the adhesive. It probably costs about $10. But I'm gluing the cement cinder blocks together, but I will not glue it to the bottom of the deck because I want to be able to move these around if needed. And so basically what I'm doing right now is I'm just, I'm gluing the top two together and letting it dry, and then I'll go ahead and start putting on the wood pieces. The wood actually cost me about $40 at the hardware store. They are 2x4 pine posts. I did have to sand them down, and I did have to cut them. So instead of buying, you know, 8 different 2x4s, I bought just 4 and I cut them. So I made this bench that I'm gluing right now 6 feet long, and whatever I had left over from one 2x4 I just used for the second bench. So it's not quite 4 feet, it's a little under. I believe it was about 9 feet and 3/4 of the length long, so that's why they're not a perfect 6 and 4 feet each. But one thing with this adhesive that I didn't really quite understand when I was doing this is that you really do need to have something heavy sit on top of the contact spots where you're trying to get the adhesive to stick. And you want to leave it there for about a week. So if you are going to be experiencing any sort of like rain in your hometown, please make sure that you decide to do this project when you will have sun, because the rain and the water getting in there is going to affect the adhesive and it probably won't stick as well. So that is something that I didn't quite read or understand about using this type of adhesive, is that you really need to make sure you have good weather and that you have something heavy to kind of sit on top of them. I did have to treat the wood with all weather proofing liquid. I have all of that coming up here in this video, and I'll show you all the materials that I used for it. So really the 2x4s cost me probably about the most out of this entire project, starting at $40 for 4 of them. And then the cinder blocks were about $1.50 a piece. And then of course I already had the paint. I already had the sander, and I had to buy the all weatherproofing liquid. So, and the adhesive. So I will put all of that in my description below to show you guys really how much this project costs. The reality of it is that, you know, a lot of YouTubers will say, oh, I only made this for $18, look at how cute it is. But yeah, you made it for $18 because you had a lot of the equipment already. So if you're not quite, you know, in that world where you have all the equipment that you need like me and you have to go out and buy everything, it does start to add up. So yeah, and so I'm just continuing on with the other bench, just gluing everything together, making sure everything lines up before the adhesive actually takes place. And yeah, it's not a difficult project, and I had a ton of fun doing it. For whatever reason, I was having a really difficult time with this particular 2x4. I think it was bowing a little bit, so it was having a difficult time sticking to one side or the other. I would try to stick it on this side, and that side would lift. Same thing, I'd try sitting on it. So yeah, you want to make sure too that all the wood is not curved. You want to make sure that the wood is as straight as pie, because this is what's going to happen, is that you're going to be fighting with it until it sets. Alright, so this is what I used. I used a Valspar Semi-Transparent one-coat neutral base exterior stain and sealer, which is also rain ready, and you have to make sure that it says rain ready and all weather purposes. This little can cost me about $5 at the local hardware store. I would encourage you guys to get the bigger size or the next size up. You will need it, and also use a nylon brush when you are applying this sealer onto your wood. But this was $5 for this little can, so I would get the bigger one. Paint costs a lot of money, so if you do have extra paint lying around from a previous project, I would encourage you all to use it. This is a floor masonry concrete base paint, and then you can of course choose whatever color that you would like. This can cost me about $25. Now you won't need that much paint to paint your cinder blocks, but paint nonetheless will cost you some money. So if you want to get this big size and use it for multiple projects, that's awesome. I would encourage you to do so, but just get a smaller size and you'll thank me later, I promise. So this is what it looks like, everyone. I love it so much. We love to sit outside. It actually makes the backyard look super classy. I did get that rug at the at-home store for about $20, and I got the little lantern, the black one, for about $8. So that was an extra almost $30 on top of everything else that I'd already spent. I also made, and you'll see it again here in just a second, but I also made a cute little table out of some other wood pieces I had lying around. Same paint color, same adhesive. I just, you know, constructed something super cute. You can do that as well if you have extra stuff lying around. And then this is what it looks like at night. I love it so much, and I really wanted to show you the lighting. I bought solar lighting, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much. Please like and subscribe and follow my videos if you want to see more videos like this. I appreciate it so very much. And everyone, don't you forget, don't be average, be savage. Bye!